Hello. GHB TV. Ah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you? How are you all? How are you feeling on this beautiful NFL Sunday? How are you? We're gonna talk about some boxing. We're gonna talk about some boxing, you know? It's a pretty good boxing last night. What's going on? Good morning. Rise and shine for sure. It's always a good thing. What's going on? Let them fill in. Let them fill in. Make sure I hit the like button on the way in, man. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, love don't cost a thing. Love don't cost a thing, you hear me? But it's expensive at the same time. Ain't that crazy? I got 20 on Chiefs. What we doing? You got 20 on the Chiefs. Why would you call me and disrespect me like that? So how we gonna exchange the money? Cause I don't want to have to come looking for you and shit. Cause I will drive or fly or catch a boat wherever I gotta come see you. Top of the morning. What's going on? I definitely appreciate if you had an ASL interpreter or live subtitle transcribe enabled on the screen so deaf viewers like myself and others can enjoy your content. Ah, that's interesting. You just put me on. Nelson did a good job last night. Yeah, I'm gonna get into all line. I'm gonna talk about all line. You know, top of the morning, Mo. What's up, Salam? Hey. So how can I get? Like some live? What do you say? Get some live subtitles going. See, I need somebody to edit, like do some crazy type editing shit, cause I don't know nothing about none of that. I don't know how to put no subtitles on. Do I not? Let me see. Highlight say, oh no, that's the wrong thing. See, I'm touching shit. I don't even know what I'm touching. Retouch on, retouch on, touch on. I don't get what that mean. I don't know. So I gotta work on my subtitle game. So it look like the screen changed a little bit. What's going on? Let them fill in though. Let them fill in. It was a pretty good fight last night. I seen some good things, man. I seen some good things from both fighters, but I feel like Nelson was just physically at a disadvantage in a fight like that. I mean, Pacheco is a big kid, and they try. And what I like about Nelson and his team, they try everything they could to get Pacheco to come out of his character. But that's why I like Pacheco too, because Pacheco kept his cool. You know what I mean? Pacheco didn't let them get him out of character and, break the distance and get himself put in trouble. What's good? That weight coming off. Face him. Appreciate that, gang. What's up? What's up with you, M? You about to get back in the ring too, huh? He wasn't throwing them hooks to last rounds. Yeah. Yeah, the matchup was weird to me. In the top right corner, the three buttons should have a caption option. All right, so top. All right, so on my screen, I don't have a top right. Like I don't have the three button option, like you saying. All right, so let me see. Let me see. Chat filter, top messages, community, moderation, blocked words for the channel, blocked words, community defaults, hold potentially inappropriate chat messages for review, message delay, participant mode, anyone, subscribers live commentary. Oh, so you could really, what's the name of this chat? All right, let me see. Yeah, I gotta sit and learn. And is Andy ready for the top 20 competition? That's what I think. I think so. Well, shit, the kid he fought last night, I thought he might have been at least top 20. Had came in. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the fight though. Pacheco. Let's get into the fight, but let's talk about the build up and everything else, like from what we saw from the fight week when everybody got to town or whatever, You said Pacheco wasn't supposed to go the distance? You saying Pacheco should have stopped Steven Nelson? So again, like I said, when they got to like the press conference and shit, and Diego actually respected who he was in front of. When you prepare with respect, you utilize the small details. Real shit. That's why I said when I first talking about the fight, I'm like, yo, this fight better than what people may think. They looking at this, the age and the height difference and all of that, and they don't understand this really is a good fight because Steven Nelson is not the guy you just beat up. You know what I'm saying? He's not the biggest 168 pounder, but he's not the guy you just beat up. You said he should have got him out of there. He's younger and more experienced than under the lights already. I don't know. I can't 100% agree to that. The reason I'm saying that Steven Nelson is first of all, he's coming from a respected camp. He's coming from a real camp. He's not coming from a small gym in Oklahoma or somewhere. You know what I mean? He coming from guys who clearly work with world-class fighters, and him himself, to me, is a world-class fighter. You, I don't think you could say Pacheco coming from a world-class camp too, but you know what I mean? Him being bigger is not enough. Him being younger is not enough in a fight like that. Not in a fight like that. And yes, he's been on TV, but so has Nelson. And the thing is, this is a step up for him. So it's not really like you going in there with a guy that's been stopped 5 times already, and you should stop him. This is a guy who was undefeated and you was undefeated. Nobody wanted to lose, let alone get stopped. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I agree with maybe when you look at the physical attributes of both fighters, yeah, Pacheco had a better chance of winning, but him stopping Steven Nelson, no. Him stopping Steven Nelson, no, 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 no. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's why. When you look at Steven Nelson's career, he has been in tough, very tough. He is not to be stopped. You are not just going to stop him. Did Pacheco land good punches? Yes, he did. But he landed some good punches. He took his time. I'm gonna tell you what Pacheco did great to me. Pacheco was very patient. Empty the clap. No, but look, Pacheco was very, very patient, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Steven Nelson came out bouncing on his toes, giving him feints, giving him angles. What Steven Nelson was trying to do was draw Pacheco in. He was trying to get Pacheco to bite for some shit that wasn't there. You know what I mean? And what I mean was he was trying to get Pacheco to open up, trying to get Pacheco to break his height, to reach, fall in, and get countered with a hook or uppercut, something. You know what I'm saying? Steven Nelson also did a great job at trying to get him to do that. But Pacheco kept it together. Pacheco stayed calm. He stayed behind his jab. he didn't try to do too much too early. That's why I felt like what's his name, Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix was giving Steven Nelson the early rounds, and Sean Porter was like, "You sure?" But I saw what both of them saw. I felt like with Sean Porter, he was watching Pacheco take his time, pace himself, pick his shots. But what I saw Chris Mannix was saying was Steven Nelson is picking the pace. He's dictating with the pace that they're fighting at. This is his pace. But Pacheco wasn't breaking his height. Pacheco wasn't falling in with his punches. Pacheco wasn't being greedy. And that's what a lot of young fighters do. You don't see too many 23-year-olds taking their time. You know what I mean? We talking about a 23-year-old kid that can punch. And he's a big kid. But you don't usually get them kind of guys taking their time, picking their shots. You know what I mean? Realizing that this guy's trying to set me up and I'm not going to allow myself to be set up. This is why I give Pacheco a lot of credit. Because Steven Nelson is very game. Now, but what I also can say about Steven Nelson, you can definitely see that he's 36 years old. He wasn't really trying to change gears. He was trying to fight at I'm gonna say third gear type of rate. Like he doing shit in there, but he ain't trying to do too much. He ain't trying to do too much because he ain't trying to get countered and get caught with some shit and get hurt, or he just ain't trying to get beat to the punch. And eventually get slowed down and broken up. He did get cut in there, though. He did get cut in there off a jab and a right hand early in the rounds. I think it was like the third round. He got cut. He got caught with some good shots, but I felt like his game plan was a solid game plan. The only thing was he wasn't being as effective as he would have been, could have been, should have been, or have been in the past with guys, because Pacheco is a big guy and Pacheco was taking his time. Pacheco was taking his time. You know what I mean? Pacheco was really being smart about his movement. He was being smart about where he was in the ring. He was being smart about the punches that he threw. You know what I mean? He really took his time. Clip going crazy. I don't know what y'all did to Clip, but he's snapping right now. Clip just, bang, bang. He just scalped like 4 motherfuckers. What's popping? What's going on? So I'm saying all that to say, as the rounds going by, I feel like Nelson's slowly breaking down, but like mainly because of all the movement he's doing, all the moving and all the moving and all the extra work he got to do to get inside. Because now I'm hearing Bomac, after like 3 or 4 rounds, I'm hearing Bomac say, listen, you got to work your way in there. You're going to have to get in there now. Now you're going to have to get in, man. Like, you're going to have to push yourself. But I felt like Nelson had got like hooked on bouncing on his toes and trying to lure Pacheco in. You know what I'm saying? He kind of got hooked on that. And that was, to me, that was all right. That was the original game plan. But Bomac started asking, like, yo, I'm like, bro, you see what I'm saying? Like, you getting picked. He picking you a little bit. You got to start picking it up. You got to start getting the inside, making a rough, tough fight. Now, at 36 years old, if he would have approached the fight like that early on in the fight, here's the thing. At that age, him being 36 and this kid being 23, him fighting at a higher rate for a longer amount of time would make him break down easier than Pacheco. So I thought that would maybe be a good game plan, but then again, it would backfire, because if he didn't knock Pacheco out, if he couldn't catch up to Pacheco and knock him out or hurt him real bad, then he was going to do nothing but get tired. He was going to get tired in a fight like that. You know what I mean? So I understand Steven Nelson coming out there boxing, using his movement, using his jab, trying to lure him in, because he could have crashed and burned his own situation had he went out there and tried too hard too early. You know what I mean? 36 years old, you can see it. So it wasn't a bad game plan. Him, boxing Pacheco early on, because also it made Pacheco be a little bit cautious, because Pacheco knew he couldn't hit him as easy as he wanted to, because Nelson was doing all that moving. You know what I'm saying? So good game plan on both sides to me. But at the end of the day, being a younger man, but not so much being a younger man, because Pacheco didn't even fight like a younger man. Pacheco fought like a veteran. The reason I'm saying that because Pacheco took his time, really took his time, and really picked his shots. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, like I said, the physical attributes of Pacheco, the fight was only going to unfold the way it did. He's 6'4". This kid, 6'4", came in at 166 pounds. Real tall, lean kid. In the actual fight, it looked like a cruiserweight in there with a super middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Pat Greedy, I got you, gang. You know what I'm saying? He looked Pacheco looked big in there, man. Big kid. He didn't look like super massive, like wide, but he just was bigger. He was, you know what I'm saying? Better. He was the better fighter. He was the more patient fighter. He was sharper. Some of the movement he make, you know what I mean, was just right on time. Everything, the pivots. Like I remember one time Nelson tried to corner him, and Pacheco threw like a 1-2-3, but he pivoted out on a hook. That was real smooth of him. You know what I mean? He was doing some smooth shit in there. You feel me? So with all that being said, you know what I mean? Pacheco passed the test. Put it like that. He passed the test. You know what I mean? He took his time. He broke his man down. He didn't get the knockout. Yeah, a lot of people looking for the knockouts, but in a fight like that, you can't chase a knockout. When you in there with a veteran like Steven Nelson, who you know trained hard, you know he came in there with a solid game plan, you know he could get you out, we're not going to go in there and disrespect him. We're not going to go in there and disrespect him and look for a knockout. Hold on a second. I'm about to get a baby some Cheerios. You know what I mean? But we're not going to be disrespectful and go look for the knockout. You feel me? You got to be smart. You got to be sharp. Hey, shut. In a fight like that, where, think about it like this. Now, some people say Pacheco could have stopped him. Pacheco could have knocked him out and did this and did that. But think about it like this. This your first time being the main event. It's your first time being the main event on a DAZN card. Pretty good undercard. Andy Cruz was the co-main. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure. Got your family there. Trained real hard for this fight. Don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you're not going to go in there and do too much. Yeah, maybe after some rounds, we could see the advantages. So we like, yeah, he should stop this guy. But he understood he's in there with a guy who's a veteran. He don't have a whole lot of fights. Steven Nelson don't got 50 wins and all that old crazy shit. But he's been in there with some great fighters, and he trained with some great fighters. So I can't go in there and disrespect this guy like he don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to get this win. I ain't mad at Pacheco for that. This wasn't the time to be a blood and guts warrior. Why? Because your physical attributes gave you the ability to make the fight easy. You know what I'm saying? To make it easy. Make the fight easy. And I feel like that's what he did. Now, in that last round, Steven Nelson found some juice, and he applied pressure, and he hit the man with a good left foot, good overhand, good right hand. Like, he landed some good shots. But those was the shots he needed to be landing around round 6, round 7. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Z Money Wilson, what's popping? Nah. I knew that Pacheco, like in this situation, Pacheco was going to be the one getting tested because I seen Steven Nelson been through some tough fights already. And Pacheco been in some good fights. Don't get me wrong, but he's the kid. He's 23 years old. He's 23. You know what I'm saying? 23 years old. He a young boy. And a lot of times when we see young boys get in there and be the main event, they be a little too excited. And I think the way he handled it last night was perfect. He took his time. Perfect. You feel me? Bodies. I thought Pacheco, he handled it well. He passed the test. You know what I mean? No, it's always love, cousin. Yeah, but that was one of them fights. Nelson landed some shit to the body. Pacheco ain't like in 11th. I'm fucked up about last night Devin fight. About last Devin fight, I'm still grieving. I ain't watched it. What you think is next? Devin, man, Devin got Jose Ramirez, man. Keyshawn stops Andy right now. Damn. All right. But that was my take. That was my take on Pacheco and Steven Nelson. Great fight. Yeah, I mean, I felt like Pacheco had the advantages as far as height, things like that. I thought Nelson was the more battle tested fighter. They both came from respectable camps. You know what I'm saying? It was a great situation. But I feel like Pacheco really passed the test because Pacheco really kept his composure. He took his time, broke the man down, won on points. Should be a height and weight limit in boxing. Pacheco's 6'4", 79-inch reach at 68. What the fuck you think? What you think? Nah, I don't think it should be a height thing. Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you get real tall guys, they got real skinny legs. Like a Wilder. I mean, you can't really base it like on how guys built. You know what I mean? As long as they make the weight, that's what matters. They make the weight, that's what matters. The height part, you can't really control. Because then you might get a guy, say like me, I'm 5'6". I'm getting ready to fight at 200 pounds. So I'm only going to fight guys that's around my height, that's my weight. Most guys my weight, they lighter. You know what I mean? I mean, my height. Most guys my height are lighter. Yeah, I'm always fumbling, man. I'm about to fight February 15th in Atlanta. 6'1" with a 78. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That nigga Nelson rehydrated to 193. He needed to. Shit, if he was 193, what you think Pacheco was? Pacheco had to be around the same thing. They both big boys, man. Pacheco's 6'4", bro. The reason it don't look like he heavy because he lean, tall. But trust me, his weight was up too. Supreme Ala Sheik. So before I go to any other fight, Vado, I was just speaking on that, right? Nelson probably could have cut it on a little earlier. The thing is, would he have made it to the finish line? If Steven Nelson would have came out there ripping and just going crazy from the first round, would he have made it to the finish line? That's what you got to think about when you're an older fighter. When you're an older fighter and it's a 13-year age gap, you in there with a youngin'. You in there with a 23-year-old. You don't want to go in there and bust your gun too early. You know what I'm saying? That age, that shit get the kicking in, you feel me? That shit get the... Now, I do think he should have applied pressure maybe a little earlier than when he started, but to fight the whole fight like that, he would have busted his own heart. His own heart would have fucking collapsed. I'm on some bullshit. Yeah, it was popping. But look, before we move on to because somebody asked about Rayo and Antoine Russell, I want to talk about Andy Cruz first. Andy Cruz. So the guy he was fighting last night, they said just beat Chris Colbert, last year sometime, towards the end of the year. I think it was like October, something like that. He just beat Chris Colbert. Pretty good fighter, one loss. I think he had 20 wins or maybe 21 wins or something like that. Now, Andy Cruz, we know, decorated, two-time Olympian, things like that, gold medalist, all that. There's been a lot of talks about him adjusting to the pros and him, working on his punch and things like that. I think watching Andy Cruz is dangerous. I'm going to tell you why. That kid that he was fighting last night was looking for a rumble. He was coming to like put on a show, and he was trying to rumble. Andy Cruz calmed all that shit down and slowed the pace all the way down. And Andy Cruz just picked him apart. Great reflexes and hand speed. But I'm going to be honest. We are not going to see the best Andy Cruz if we're not seeing him in there with the best fighters in the world. The reason I'm saying that is because that's the level he's used to competing at, right? So even with him not, I know Andy Cruz is way better than what we saw last night, and that's crazy because last night he looked good. Last night he looked good, right? Last night Andy Cruz looked great, but I know he would look 10 times better than that had they step it up. If they step up his opponents. I'm not saying the opponent wasn't, no, the opponent was a good opponent. It was only Andy Cruz's 5th pro fight. No, that was only his 5th fight. That wasn't even his 6th. That was his 5th. So it's only his fifth pro fight. And he putting on shows, co-main events and shit like that. But we need to see him in there with somebody that can test him, because that's the only way we're going to see a better Andy Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Hall sent me a crazy Sunday steak platter. Appreciate the super chat. Brandon Hall says, my guy Greg, let's get this Sunday popping, brother. Excellent fights last night. Pacheco put on a performance, and Andy looked really good, man. But I need your take on Crawford not taking a tune-up before the Canelo fight. That's not good to me, man. Need your take. So I'm going to sidetrack a little bit to answer my man question. So he want to know if Crawford is taking the tune-up or he said he's not. Now, I heard Crawford would be fighting Sergey Derevchenko to fill out the super middleweight division, so he could fill things out. That's what I heard. Now, if he said he's not taking a tune-up, the only reason I would think so, like why he wouldn't, is because you know how people be like, you don't want to jinx yourself. It's like maybe he think if he go up there, some goofy shit will happen, and he won't get the Canelo fight, whether he do good or bad. Some might say. So Brandon Hall said he just had an interview and he said he was not. Ooh, okay. So think about what I'm saying. He don't want to jinx himself. And that's what I mean by jinx himself. Good or bad. We're gonna go with the bad first. The bad thing is you could go up there, fight a tune-up, and lose. Right? You can go up there. You could go up there, fight a tune-up, get knocked out by your tune-up. You know what I'm saying? You could go up there and just look like you could win, but then just look bad against your tune-up. You feel me? And then it's that word tune-up. That could sometimes put you in a fucked up mind space. Also, you could go up there and fight your tune-up and look great. Look spectacular. Now Canelo like, you know what? We not fighting. Scratch all that. I'm going to go fight somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Canelo got the power to do that. So that's what I mean by jinx yourself. So if they saying you're going to get the fight and y'all got to wait till September, then September it is. You know what I mean? Because fighters, let me tell you something about fighters. Fighters are real superstitious. Every fighter got some type of superstition. Every fighter, like, all right, like for me, for instance, in the locker room, I don't like nobody bitching. I'm the one fighting. So shouldn't nobody be bitching. So if I hear somebody say, hey, G, yo, you gotta watch out for his elbow. He got this dumbass elbow and he be throwing, every time he throw a hook, he be trying to catch motherfuckers. Yo, you bitching. Get out of here. Get away from me. I don't want you bitching. Yo, G, you see what he did to the last boy? Get away from me. You bitching. I don't like bitching. Especially if I'm the one fighting. If I'm the one fighting, fuck you scared for. So to me, that's like one of my superstitions. Like, I don't like nobody bitching. I hate bitch ass shit. Like, don't bring that shit back here. So for a guy like Crawford, he might feel like, you know what? Every time I get a major opportunity, I get a major opportunity. Every time you get a major opportunity, Reem, you been in the back with me. So Crawford might feel like every time he get a major opportunity, it's always some shit happening in between that's trying to stop it. Like if you think about when he was supposed to fight Earl Spence, it was a lot of shit going on, like where people were saying, man, he don't deserve that fight. He ain't fight nobody, this and that. Like a lot of in-between shit. And he knew in his mind, like, yo, I could beat this motherfucker, but I just needed to happen. So I feel like maybe with Canelo, this is the biggest opportunity in his career. He definitely don't want to jinx it. So it's like, I ain't about to do nothing in between that fight, but get ready for that fight. Real shit. One man show weakness, whole team exposed. Real shit. Yeah, I don't like, one thing I don't like is don't jinx that Canelo platter, right? And that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he doing it for the great legacy and all that, but that paper too. You know what I'm saying? That paper matters too. So with a fighter like Crawford, I could understand him saying, you know what, I don't want no. Yeah, it'll be smart to fight a tune-up, but then again, would it? Because it's still a new weight class. And like I said, he could go in there and look bad and be like, damn, or I ain't feel my best. I felt corny at 68. I felt heavy. I felt this. I felt that. I don't really want to do it. Or he could go in there and look great, like I said, and then Canelo be like, wait a minute. I ain't expect that. No. Matter of fact, we ain't fighting shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, that's all it is. Crawford just trying to keep from jinxing himself. I mean, he's just trying to keep from anything and getting in between this opportunity and him being what, the third man to beat Canelo Alvarez at his height though. This would be beating Canelo at his height. I mean, his complete like his best. You know what I mean? We know Canelo slowed down a little bit, but still, he's an animal. So I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? Shout out to my dog D1, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We're going to take a couple seconds, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Anybody that forgot to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. We had 215 people in here for 44 likes. Donations, appreciate the gang for sure. Appreciate everybody, man. But make sure y'all hit that like button for me, though. Don't forget that part. Come on, baby. And send this video to your favorite whoever. And man, we're going to take a couple seconds off. I'll be right back. Smash that like button. I'll be right back, ladies and gents. What's wrong with you, chick? Tired? Hey, bottle that. You want some milk? Hit that like button, man. Tell them, Chase, hit the like button. Hit the like button for my pops. What going on? Yeah, so I ain't mad at Crawford. I ain't mad at Crawford for saying that he don't want to tune up. Cause we don't want to jinx. We don't want to jinx that. We don't want to jinx the Canelo platter. Like my man Ala Sheik said. Supreme Ala Sheik. Definitely don't want to get in the way of that paper. You feel me? It's a great check. Why not get that check? What's the word? What's going on, family? Now, the question is next is who should be next? Who should be the next fight for Andy Cruz? And matter of fact, I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna ask the question right now, but I think I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna start back over. I'm gonna start back over on the StreamYard, and then the question is gonna be who's next for Andy Cruz? Who should be the opponent for Andy Cruz? I wanna see somebody. It gotta be somebody good, man. Somebody that could make Andy Cruz thinking it. Andy Cruz look good though. Don't get it fucked up. Andy look good. Boxing is back for sure. Edwin De Los Santos. Andy Cruz. I like that fight. Andy Cruz, Edwin De Los Santos. Santos. He said Santos. I like that fight. Need track drills though. Miguel Magdueno. Salute G for real fathers. Appreciate that. Blind Faith was popping. What you think of Key saying he think Cruz will lose before fighting him? Damn. I mean, it might be something he see, but from what I see, Andy Cruz, he gonna be hard to beat, man. He's smart as shit. His reflex is crazy. The only thing I see about Andy Cruz, like if you gonna call it a flaw, he look like sometimes he don't be impressed. Like he be bored with the work. He look like he don't be impressed with the work. Andy Cruz, like he be like, all right, man, this is what I got tonight. Fuck it. Anthony Yiggett. Cambosis, Andy and Cambosis. I honestly think you're not gonna get the best Andy Cruz until you see him fight one of the best. Because these guys, he already know he can outthink them. He can outthink, like he not really, to me, he not really being challenged. All right, physically he's being challenged because it's a fight and these guys is in shape and they doing what they can, but mentally he's not being challenged. So you're not seeing Andy Cruz really fight out of like any type of desperation. He not really being forced to pick it up. You feel me? You got to see him in there with somebody that's going to force you. Ooh, Maritala and Andy Cruz, I like that fight. Did you see Andy trying to shake Keyshawn's hand? I heard he ran up to him after the fight. Kept calling him his son. I heard about that. Funny as shit. Calling boy his son. And Billy, I like Billy though. And Billy for Pacheco, I like that fight. Because I know Billy, for one, he younger than a guy like Steven Nelson. And Billy's going to bring that flame. He going to bring that flame out. What you make a Tito Mercado dude be talking that hot shit. Yeah, Mercado is a strong kid. He's very strong. He can punch. But I wouldn't be so fired up over a win over Pedraza. Not because Pedraza ain't shit, but Pedraza ain't, you know what I mean? Pedraza ain't been on his shit in a minute. And then he older. He done been stopped a few times, all types of shit. And that kid, Mercado, is a big kid. Tito Mercado is not small kid for 140 pounds. He a big kid for 140 pounds. Very muscular kid. You know what I mean? But you never know. You got to see these guys get in there with these guys, with the guys. Like whenever that's the thing about being a prospect. You could be misled watching prospects because you not understanding that they're in there with men that are at a disadvantage. Whether it's due to training camps, whether it's due to age, whether it's due to health, whether it's due to situations outside of the gym. You know what I mean? Things like that. These guys are at a disadvantage when they're up against a prospect. You know what I mean? You got to really see a guy. I got to see a Tito Mercado versus a Tito Mercado. What would that look like? You feel me? What would that look like? Lester Martinez, who is a killer at 68. He said he's a killer at 68. Him and Pacheco is the fight. I gotta look him up. Lester Martinez. Andy Cruz is super accurate. It's crazy. Yeah, Andy Cruz is sharp as shit, bro. He's sharp as shit, and his timing is crazy. And he'll hit you with a 4 or 5 piece. You know what I mean? Before you really even think about what's happening, that should be like 555 soups out. Oh my god. Number just started coming out. 555 6962223. Damn. 115 6567 8910. He be all upside your fucking head. What's up? I ain't been here. What's going on, JT? You good? Andy Cruz not ready for Keyshawn. What you think, G? I don't think Keyshawn should be the fight next, but I said it earlier in this live. We not going to see the best Andy Cruz until we see him get in there with one of the top guys at 35, because he's not interested in these fights. These fights he's fighting because this is what he has to do. But Andy Cruz already sees himself as one of the best in the world, and he's earned that right because of what he's done in boxing as far as the amateurs. He's been around a very long time. But 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 in order to see the best Andy Cruz, we're gonna have to see him in there with one of the best 35 pounders in the world. He shot Dev had a hell of a debut. Keep an eye out for Amari Jones' debut. They were rivals in the end. Both were Olympians. Oh, I got you. I fuck with Amari Jones. So Eddie Hearn looking like the new top rank. He grabbing motherfuckers out the amateurs. Question is Keyshawn mentally ready for Andy Cruz? And a lot of people seem to forget about what Andy Cruz put Keyshawn through. You know what I mean? So it's like, people forget about that. G, you watch Jacqueline Moses. Yeah, I watched him, young kid, man, sharp kid. Of course, he still got a lot, he developed, he a kid, he trying to, try to find himself. People who don't understand boxing, man, until they turn pro. That's when you start understanding, like, oh, this shit way different. People think the amateurs and the pros is the same. It's not. It's really not the same. You need to tuck that chin. Yeah, it means, he a kid doing this thing. Shit be in the air a bit. It's cool boy week. Them 8 ounces is something different. Indeed, they are. Keyshawn energy was a little off. Well, Andy Cruz, I heard that he did it, but I ain't even pay attention to that part. Cause didn't he go up in the crowd or some shit? Somebody said, what a Mon George said, this ain't the amateurs. Key gonna hurt that boy. Go Chiefs. Man, fuck the Chiefs. Y'all know what it is. The Mafia. What you think about Mercado? He was talking about cash shit. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when with them young kids that can punch, them strong guys, whenever they get a good win, that's how they talk. But the truth is, bro, I gotta I gotta see Hector Mercado in there with another Hector Mercado. That's how I know if you the truth or not. The parlay for the day, the Bills to win by 10 and the Eagles to win by a field goal. The Bills to win by 10, the Eagles to win by a field goal. No, I'm definitely about to get the StreamYard popping though. Mercado and Matisse, you think he ready for them already? A good realistic opponent for Andy right now would be someone like Artem Haratyanyan. Real shit. Haratyanyan. That's a good joint, Alashik. That is a good test for him. Yeah, the Bills gonna win by 10 tonight. And the Eagles gonna win by a field goal. Those the picks. Fuck if you don't like it. Ain't no way Bills by 10. That's what I said. I don't give a fuck what way you think it is. That's my team. With that BS Patty gonna park them boys as usual. All right. All right, we gonna see. We gonna see for sure. Hey, yo, I'm gonna jump off here, and I'm coming back with the StreamYard, so get ready. Do what y'all gotta do. Eat whatever y'all gotta eat, drink whatever y'all gotta drink. I'll be back. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the donations. Greg Hackett 86 on Instagram, Greg Hackett 215 on X, Greg Hackett on Facebook. Get with me. GHB TV.